Hello, this is Daniel Fagan, reporting from Dr. Watson's class of Understanding Abnormal Psychology. My study that I have chosen is Prevalence, Correlates, Disability, and Comorbidity of DSM-4 Alcohol Abuse and Dependence in the United States. Got this from JAMA Psychiatry. Basically, our objective is to present nationally representative findings on the prevalence, correlates, psychiatric comorbidity, and different treatments of DSM-4 based alcohol abuse and dependence. Our design, settings, and participants are face-to-face interviews with a representative U.S. adult sample. There are 43,093 people sampled in our study, and they're between the ages of 18 and 65, not between them, but including them. So they can be 18 years of age, but not below it. So it's 18 to 65, and they can also be 65 years of age, but not above that. Our main outcome and measures are lifetime and 12-month DSM-4 alcohol abuse and dependence. So first thing we're going to do is look at prevalence, and I have a little chart here. So the first thing we're going to look at is prevalence, as I just previously stated. Prevalence of lifetime and 12-month alcohol abuse was 17.8% and 4.7% respectively. The lifetime prevalence, 17.8, 12-month prevalence, 4.7. Prevalence of lifetime and 12-month alcohol dependence was 12.5 and 3.8 respectively, lifetime being 12.5 and 12-month being 3.8. Next, we are going to move on to a couple of the characteristics of the WHO in our study and what I liked and disliked about the WHO of our study. Here's the big board. We're going to take a look at it. What I liked about our study was the fact that males and females were pretty close in terms of how many people were studied. About 47% male, 52% female. I enjoyed that. So as you can tell, the highlighting in yellow are things that I liked in terms of the discrepancy. I liked the various different groups chosen to represent our U.S. national average properly. Most of the time in studies, to my knowledge, a lot of studies are done using white males and females of college age, 18 to 22, and they're usually from a better socioeconomic background. So in this specific example, we have, again, a large white representation with 24,000 or 70% being white, but I did enjoy the fact that there are 8,000 black representatives in our study and 8,000 Hispanic representatives, making up 11% each. So it's a total of just under 23% of our group being black and Hispanic, with about 6.5% being Native American and Asian. I also enjoyed our age grouping, where you see about 30% between the ages of 30 and 44, 31% between the ages of 45 and 64, a decent grouping of people at the 65 age range, and 18 to 29 is also represented pretty well at just under 22%. I also enjoyed the marital status, where you have about 60% of our participants that are either married or cohabitating, in comparison to about 38% of widowed, separated, divorced, or never married participants. Things I did not enjoy a ton, as you can see in the blue, are our education discrepancy was not where I wanted it to be, with about 56%, or about 55% actually, having some college or higher. That's about 22,000 of the 43,000 people, just actually closer to 23,000. So I wish there was a broader range there of people with just a high school degree or less than a high school degree. Our personal income I was not a fan of either. Personal income having 47% of our participants, or 21,000, making less than $20,000 a year, and that's in poverty. So you're looking at about half our group living in poverty. That can be a telltale sign of why alcohol abuse would be prevalent in that group. Now we're going to look at urbanicity and our regions. Urbanicity, a staggering 80% of our participants, or 35,000 people, are from urban environments. That's crazy. That's way too much. We need to get a better mix there. We need at least like a 60-40 mix in terms of urban and rural areas when we're talking about urbanicity. Our region, we got about 35% of our participants from the South, which is about 16,000. The next closest would be the Northeast and Midwest, are about tied at about 8,000 each. It's just, again, it's something I wish would be a little more equal, especially because it's not like the South generates the majority of the population in the United States of America. Next thing we're going to move on to, after the characteristics of the respondents, would be our numbers of prevalence that was found in past research that was done using the DSM-3 and the DSM-3R. There were past studies done that were very, very similar, if not nearly identical, to the study that I looked up, and they found specific numbers that are right here. These numbers were 12 to 27% prevalence for alcohol abuse dependency, and that was found, so alcohol abuse and alcohol dependency was found for the DSM-3. Then the next study that was done using the DSM-3R was 8 to 32% prevalence for alcohol abuse and dependency, and then, as you can tell, the numbers seem to be dropping. 8.3 to 18.2% prevalence for alcohol abuse and dependency found in the study that I am presenting to you today in the DSM-4. So, based on the numbers you just witnessed, or you just saw, and I just gave to you, I would like to make the assumption that alcohol abuse and dependency is getting better in the U.S. The problem is the etiology, the reasons for, or the way we define alcohol abuse and dependency changes from DSM-3 to DSM-3R to DSM-4. So according to the study, we can't jump to that conclusion. The next thing I would like to go over with you is the final part of our presentation. And it's basically a way to improve clarity and honesty in the results. And it may be to have one of our or all of our participants bring in a spouse or family member or friend, whoever knows them best, to come in and also answer the same questions during the face-to-face interview, well, in a separate interview, about the specific participant, and to just try and get a better understanding of if there is a proper diagnosis of substance abuse, specifically alcohol abuse or dependency. As far as everything else goes, this is my journal video presentation, and hopefully you have a better understanding of alcohol abuse and dependency because of this video. Again, I'm Daniel Fagan on behalf of Dr. Watson and the understanding of abnormal behaviors. Thanks again.